Social Work Assessment, Supervision, and Support. Welcome to Session 6 of the Fundamentals of Fostering Training. Congratulations on completing the applicant information for the foster care record. My name is Michael, and I'll explain how the qualified social worker will complete the remaining sections of your assessment. This session will explain the assessment process step by step, so you know what to expect and how to prepare. Your allocated social worker will be responsible for reviewing, completing, and writing up your assessment. They'll contact you to book in a schedule of sessions, and the registered manager will also be informed of the timeline. Please note, all timings provided here are approximate and include both direct work and time for writing up. If anything needs to be adjusted, your social worker will discuss it with you and notify the registered manager. If the social worker isn't able to complete any checks or information at the allocated session, the missing information will be followed up at subsequent sessions and the registered manager will be notified of any unexpected delays. A step-by-step breakdown of the remaining assessment work is listed here. 1. Planning the assessment. Your social worker will book in the key sessions with you and share a schedule. These may be adjusted depending on availability or specific needs. The schedule will be shared with the registered manager. The registered manager should be included in all written communications between the social worker and applicants, and a copy of the assessment should be sent before each new stage is started. The registered manager will not respond unless there are concerns which need to be addressed. 2. Assessment preparation, 4 hours for new applicants. Before meeting you, the social worker will review the full record and remove highlights for completed information. Where any sections are already completed, they will be signed off and a social work analysis will be completed. Front page. The front page will be signed off by the social worker before you meet. The social worker will add their name to the front page and remove highlights. ID. The social worker will also review the ID information. This section should also be complete before social worker allocation, so the social worker should be able to complete the strengths and vulnerabilities analysis before you meet. Consent. The social worker doesn't need to make any changes to this section. The highlights will be removed. Foster family profile. This section should also be ready for the social worker to review. Highlights to be removed. Approval timeline. The social worker doesn't need to make any changes to this section. Residents looked after. This section only needs to be completed if the applicant is a transferring foster carer who has children in their home. References. The social worker will make contact with all references except members of the household, who will be visited in person. Updates about attempts to contact will be recorded in the column Progress, Date, and Outcome. It's likely that references will need to be revisited until they're all complete. 3. Online session, 2 hours. Your first live meeting with the social worker will be a video meeting. Your social worker may wish to type into the document as they speak with you, so please be patient if they have short pauses while they type. You will be discussing the following. Matching information. The applicant has already provided a considerable amount of information, but the social worker may need to clarify some points. If the social worker feels that the applicants lack knowledge on a particular subject, the social worker may ask the applicants to review the policy on that subject. The social worker will ensure that they have all the information required to provide clarity about which needs may be supported by the applicants. The Safer Care section within matching will be completed after the main Safer Care section has been completed. Strengths and vulnerabilities will be written during this session or immediately after. References. If the social worker has struggled to get hold of any references or needs to check information with you, this will be discussed with you. The Strengths and Vulnerabilities section will be written by the social worker as soon as all checks are completed. 4. Safer Care, Home Visit, 4 hours. The social worker will visit your home. Please make sure that all household members are available so that the social worker can meet with all household members and complete any references if necessary. The social worker will complete the Safer Care checks during the visit. Police involvement. Show your DBS to the social worker if you have the paper certificate. The DBS must be added to the update service ASAP. A failure to add your DBS to the update service may be viewed as poor organizational skills. Court proceedings, this will be discussed and completed if required. Health, it is expected that the foster carers will have submitted their health assessment to their GP and an appointment booked before the social worker started work. If this hasn't been done, the assessment must be put on hold until the appointment has been booked with the GP. The social worker will review the GP report and the feedback from the agency medical advisor. Finances. This section was drafted for the social worker, so they should be in a position to write the strengths and vulnerabilities. Health and safety. The social worker will need to look around the home and complete this assessment. Vehicles. This section should also be ready for the social worker to complete. Fire safety. The social worker will discuss the fire safety assessment and make sure that all sections have been addressed. Pets. The social worker will review the answers from the pet assessment and ask to look at the arrangements for the pets. If a specialist pet assessment is required, this should have been arranged before the social worker started their work. Safer care plan. The social worker will need to discuss this part of the assessment with the carer, or both carers if there are two. Mobile phone and online safety. The social worker will ask to see the social media accounts of all household members. Firearms. The social worker will need to see the arrangements as they have been described, including certificates and registrations. 5. Personal history and current life, home visit, 4 hours. The social worker will review the information provided in the chronology and may need to add more information. If there are 2 applicants, the social worker may want to speak with the applicants separately and together. The social worker will then discuss members of the household and any other children, the applicant's experience of and approach to childcare, expected impact of fostering, and if any specific support should be provided to household members. Wider family and friends. The social worker will ask for further details if needed. A backup carer assessment may not be needed for new carers, but carers must be clear that respite must be provided from their own networks if it is needed. Personality. The social worker will then review and add details to the personality section. Again, the social worker may choose to speak with 2 applicants separately and together. Agreements. There will be a quick review of the foster care agreement. 6. Social worker final write-up, 2 hours. The social worker will do a final spell check and grammar check. The report will be tidied up as required. 7. Management oversight and foster carer sign-off. The registered manager will check the report within a few days and will ask for any final edits if required. When the report is ready, it will be shared with the foster carers to review and sign. 8. Panel process. The report will be shared with panel members. Panel members are given 2 weeks to review the report. Panel members will give feedback a couple of days before panel, which will be shared with applicants and the social worker. Responses will be prepared for panel members so that they are well prepared before the panel meeting. This process is a collaborative effort between you and your social worker. If you're unsure about anything along the way or need support, please contact your social worker or the registered manager. The aim is to ensure your assessment is thorough, strengths-based, and accurate, so we can make the best possible decisions for children and for you as future foster carers. Thank you, and I wish you all the best in these final stages of your fostering assessment.